good afternoon, and thank you, Reverend King, for being here with us today. We're here in the King Center, probably one of the most impactful sites in Atlanta. Can you tell us about the role of the King Center today and what its impact and effect on our community and around the world is?
Well, the King Center, as you know, has been here in this location since 1980, 81. And the main reason that my mother founded it was to ensure that people understood what went into the movement that your father, along with my father and so many others and her, men and women, did to bring about social change. People just kind of think they showed up at a demonstration and that was it. But there was so much education and training that took place behind the scenes. And so for close to, I guess, 50 years now, the center has been educating and training people in my father's philosophy and methodology of nonviolence.
Speaking of the people, you know, you mentioned your mother. We would not be sitting here if not for the work of Coretta Scott King.
Perhaps Auburn Avenue wouldn't be here in the way that it is today. She chose to place the King Center here in the heart of Sweet Auburn to bring together an unforgettable experience. I mean, in our city doesn't realize that, first of all, we have the only African-American national historical park in the country. And that was signed under the administration of President Trump. But more importantly, you have the authentic properties associated with that historical figure. The birth home, which was slated to be demolished in the late 60s, and this was before Dad died. My mom went to Mayor Allen at the time and disrupted that and said, hey, we need to save this part of Auburn Avenue because it's important to Atlanta and the history of our world.
When you see all of these people that come here, hundreds, thousands of people who come to the King Center, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel proud and also makes me feel challenged too, because I have a responsibility to ensure that people treasure what we have here in the city. You have the final resting place of a person, not just of national prominence, but global prominence.
What do you think your father and your mother would have thought about the situations in America today in 2020 and around the world? You know, he was often, obviously, a commentator, not just on the civil rights situation domestically, but on world affairs.
He said everything while he was here, and those words are still very relevant today. He talked about facing these triple evils of poverty, racism, and militarism globally, that they threaten our world house, this place that we all call home. We have to learn how to live together as brothers and sisters, or together we'll perish as fools. We have to ask critical questions. Why are people full of hate? How did they get that way, instead of just accepting they're that way and canceling them out or dismissing them?
I know that you seem to feel called to do your public service. Is it a calling for you?
It's kind of hard not to come through generations of social change leaders and not feel a responsibility. We have to conduct ourselves on this high plane of dignity and discipline. And it's not easy, but it's necessary. Because that's what nonviolence was about. That part of the speech is the most important part to me.
From the city of Atlanta, we appreciate the time that you've spent with us to expound on your legacy and the work that you're doing here at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change. And it has been a real pleasure to see you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And I really appreciate being interviewed by you.
Well, thank you.
My neighbor, my classmate, a few years apart, my friend. I mean, it's just been wonderful. My legacy brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
My friend.